Come on, YouTube. Okay, YouTube's good. All right, we're here. I am still exactly on time, and I'm very proud of myself. It's all happening. What? Hi, Carrie. Hi, Christine. Hi, Caress. Good morning, everyone. Hmm. Didn't get a chance to properly clean these glasses this morning. Am I just like a gross person, or does everybody else's glasses get smudgy so quickly? Cute top knot. Thank you. I am rocking the how many days can I go without washing my hair because I don't like this. I don't like this weather. It's very, I mean, I shouldn't um, be complaining because we just have like very humid weather. We're not having like fucking hurricane, but it's just gross and I don't want to wash my hair. I hardly want to take a shower. I'm just having one of those weeks. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, where you're just like, I don't really want to shower or get dressed or like do my hair. I just don't feel like it. But I do. I have been showering, but it's just not my vibe this week. The job, the man, the house, all the big changes from like the year. But okay. Well, that brings us to the first thing um, that we can talk about today because I really want to see how you're doing because it's been so long. That I've been on Coffee Magic. I feel like so many things are changing so fast. And I'm like, it's just crazy because it's like all the things that I've been like, yeah, this is what I want. But then it's like, it's happening so fast. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, how do I organize this new life that's apparently my life now? You know what I mean? So we're mid eclipse now. We're smack in the middle and next week will be the solar eclipse in what is it, Libra? And I will say, I think this has been, at least my current perspective, this has been one of the most eventful eclipse seasons I've been conscious of, which is really saying something because we've had some doozies these past few years, but it's a different kind of energy, right? I feel like the previous ones had a lot of destruction energy in them. Like a lot of things needed to be completely obliterated and moved out of life and massive, like bone breaking shifts. And this one feels more like, oh, it's all finally happening, right? Do you feel that too? I know Carrie, you're feeling it, but how like what is happening with you guys, do you think? Like, do you agree? Do you feel like that's a vibe? Like, tell me stuff. Because I miss you. I miss hearing about all the things that are happening because I'm just busy, which is different. Different kind of busy. Busy in my brain too. Christine says, yeah, like moving out of the waiting room. Exactly. Thank you for the follow. Hi, Kate. Thank you. It's kind of like a, I don't know what you call this, but it's just like a thin waffle knit because again, you can't even wear a sweater right now. It's very weird. It's very weird weather. Not my favorite, you know? So let me think of anything else that's been going on around here. So Megan has another couple of weeks before she starts her new job. And so her current job is building me a million snake tanks. And we took on this we. When I say we, just know when I'm telling the story, I'm going to say we a lot, but it's more like a royal we, if you know what I mean. Like I am, I'm inspirational and supportive sometimes, but I'm not doing the actual build. So just I want to clarify that because it's going to sound like I'm making these tanks, but I'm really not. But I'm helping. So anyway, um, this project came about mostly because Megan is just very supportive of all the things that I'm into. And the current tanks that I have are very thin and they have mesh tops. And for the species of reptiles that I currently have, they require a very high humidity and temperature gradient. And it's really hard to keep those temps regulated with so much airflow, right? And with such thin um, containers. Also, I had to move everybody out of my you really wanna hear about this, right? We will get to cards at some point, but you're my captive audience this morning because I haven't been here, so you're getting this update. Um, I had to move all my reptiles out of my reptile room and move myself out of my office because my kids got their own room, right? So I was like, oh, this really moderates my reptile habit because I'm not gonna be able to get any more. I currently have five. Like, we move them into the living room, yada, yada, yada. But don't worry because where there's a will, there's a way. And I figured out how to reconfigure the basement so that I have one third of it available as my reptile center, right? And Megan's like, I can build these enclosures. They're basically just boxes. We found a very affordable PVC supplier about an hour away. And that is what we've been doing, right? Again, where are we? So we're making 8 4-foot enclosures, 2 to 3 3-foot enclosures, and then one massive enclosure for Odin. That will be the last thing we do because he is eventually going to be like 9 or 10 feet long and a little girthier than he is now, obviously. And so his permanent home will be about 8 by 4 by 2. So it's a big one, but we managed to like sketch it all out so that it makes all the sense in the world and gives me a little more space to have a few more snakes, right? So, two more snakes are waiting to come home for when all the tanks are ready. So, you'll see those later. But anyway, so we've been deep in that project, which has been a lot more complicated than originally thought out. There's so many little things you don't think about and things to learn, like how to use a hole saw, like it's been a lot. It's definitely more expensive than I thought it was gonna be just because of all of, like, the trial and error things that we need to do. However, it's pretty damn cool, and I can't wait to show you the finished result because I think it's gonna be very impressive. So, there's that. So that's one project that's going on. And work is very great and very busy. So that is definitely shifting. And I'm just feeling like I don't know, like this year really started off moving in a different direction. And I'm interested to see how all of that is affecting you guys as well. Do you feel like you are stepping in or opening up to a different way for yourself, like a new path opened up and it's like you're kind of starting for in earnest now in that new energy because that's how I feel. It's I don't want to say it's New Year's energy. It's different, but it's all happening in the physical now. Before it was very energetic and like really harnessing that energy of what you want to feel and like all these possibilities and now all the possibilities are actually happening in the physical reality and that's very exciting and simultaneously, as that's exciting for when things are actually happening, what it also means is things are actually happening collectively that need to happen as well. So chaos reigns, right? But in chaos is where you have the ingredients for everything. So it's pretty wild. So that's what's happening over here. Um, swipe. Okay, I don't know what that means. That's what's happening over here. And there's also this other feeling I have, like, so I'm 40 years old, right? I'll be 41 in November. And I spent most of my life in this interesting balance of wanting so badly to do things right and have the approval of those around me. So it's like, okay, I'm going to go to college because that's what I'm supposed to do. But instead of going and getting like an engineering degree or going for like to be a doctor or something, I'm going to be a writer and I'm going to go for English. So I like do the things I'm supposed to do, but then I like do them the way that my parents didn't really want me to do them. You know what I mean? There's always that streak at the bottom that's like at the end. And then I'm like, "Oh, I should get married. I should have kids. I should try to be happy in like a suburban lifestyle. Let's get an SUV. Let's get 2.5 kids. Let's do, all of the things that I thought I needed to be. I've been trying so hard to be in that first like half of my life, right? And now it feels like I'm finally starting life on my terms. And that's the shift. It's like and I can actually be successful on my terms when I listen to who I am and what I want to do and go in that direction, as opposed to always feeling like I'm falling short of what I was supposed to be, what I was supposed to do. Who am I not pleasing now? Who, all of those things. Just like letting go of all those fucks has really opened up a life that feels aligned. And I will say, I look back at pictures of myself in my 20s and in my 30s, like 10 years ago, and I'm like, wow, Sarah, you are so much hotter now, so much more interesting, and have just so much more going on energetically. Like your eyes are finally alive. Like my previous pictures of myself, I just look dead eyed to me. Like I'm like, oh, you're not happy, girl. Like, And now people are like, oh no, you're over 40. It's like, no, like this is where it is, guys. Like I'm only getting better and I don't feel like I'm slowing down. So that's the update. Let's get to the cards. I'm going to give you three things. If you're new here, welcome. I'm really only here Fridays at 10 now for Coffee and Magic, unfortunately, but it is what it is, you know? It is what it is because it's doing what it do. So there's that. So anyway, I'm going to give you three things. You choose the one that feels most aligned with you in this moment, and that will correspond with your message. And remember, we're in between eclipses. So last week when we did like eclipse polls, it was like what's beginning for you? And then next week it'll be like what's ending for you? What are you letting go of? And for this mid space, it's going to be what do you need to know right now, right? Like or what's the vibes? Whatever you want to ask, just like kind of hold that energy in your field as I'm shuffling and see what happens. Maybe it will surprise you. I will also remind you that um in the immortal words of closing time, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. So there's really no such thing as a beginning and an ending because they live right next to each other. So it doesn't matter which one comes first, they all have to be pretty close. You know what I mean? So that's what this eclipse feels like to me. All right, so the three things I'm going to give you this morning are types of tea: dandelion, chamomile, and mint. Those are the three teas for this morning: dandelion tea, chamomile tea, or mint tea. What are you feeling? And you're like, why tea? Because I'm drinking it. I already had my coffee. Already had it. Dandelion tea, chamomile tea, and mint tea. And I'm shuffling. Ooh, interesting, Suzette. I bet chamomile and mint together would be a really nice blend. Okay, I'm shuffling now for dandelion. I don't know if you caught my stories this morning, but my cat was attacking me. And I don't know if the sound translated to stories because I kind of had an attitude back at her, but like she just woke up in a vibe and she just kind of like attacks me. And I'm like, no. And then I talk back to her and we kind of fight. Um, where was I going with this? I don't know. She's just being a bitch today. I put her outside so she doesn't attack me during Coffee Magic. But we love her. But come on, Perlissa. All right. Tell me when you're ready for dandelion tea. Yeah, she did. Oh, and so Megan was like, "You're like taunting her though, and it makes her want to attack you more." And I was like, "No, I am matching her energy, right? All I want to do with that cat is give her kisses and snuggles. And she lets me kiss her one or two times and snuggles. And then she's like, you know, I'm like, We're not the same. Are we the same? Okay. This is your dandelion tea. Your choices again are dandelion tea, chamomile tea, and mint tea. Okay. Dandelion tea, chamomile tea, mint tea. Cat, the wind fairy, and joy. Okay. So you might be like, oh, what? Is it like Priscilla cat? It's not. So the cat, the wind fairy, and the joy translates to protecting your peace. Okay. Cat's all about boundaries. And the wind fairy is about your thoughts. And what brings you the least amount of peace? Your thoughts, right? Because your thoughts are there to bulk you up. You're like, oh, I'm doing so amazing. Look, I'm kicking ass and taking names. And your brain's like, are you though? Or are you an imposter? And is everybody going to see through that pretty soon and you're going to fail? Maybe you really don't deserve this opportunity. Don't you think like it's a little too much? You're overreaching, right? Your brain is there to be like mad wild, but it doesn't have its own personality about it. Your brain is only working in the way it's been programmed to work. The brain is a massive organic supercomputer. So you have your emotions, you have your brain, you have your soul, spirit, essence. You have a lot of things going on here. Why focus solely on thoughts alone when you can add them all together and really make some things happen, right? So, for my dandelion friends, really focus on your boundaries, on where you're putting your energy and how you're using your thoughts. Protect your peace. There are situations, there are people, right, who their mere presence in your life gets your mind going in a direction that is the opposite of joy. Identify those triggers, be they things, people, places, situations, whatever it is, and create some boundaries so that they don't have the opportunity to constantly send you into a spin, right? And if you can do that, even a little, you don't have to do it 100%, honestly, but the more you do it, the better. You will be able to find so many more moments of joy in your day because you won't be spending a lot of time spinning wheels on things that really may or may not happen and are definitely not productive energies for you. So, boundaries, protect your peace, and enjoy. Okay? I hope that makes sense for my dandelion friends. Shuffling now, chamomile. Did I say hi to you, Janelle? Good morning. Did I say hi to you, Valerie? Hi to everybody. Good morning. I was probably caught up talking about my cat or my snakes. Typical story around here. Tell me when you're ready for chamomile. Okay. So here you go. Chamomile. Hawk, deer, goblin. What a mix. So hawk, deer, and goblin. All right. So the hawk is interesting in this poll because the overarching theme of this situation is that it's fine, right? Like just go with the flow. It's fine. Your team's got you. However, there's layers to the situation, And while this may be true from a higher perspective, with the boots on the ground perspective, you're in a little bit of a pickle, it feels like. And it's less of a pickle than you think, but that doesn't really matter, right? So, but just know that. Just, I think, like the perspective of like whatever you're in right now, just remember at some point really soon, you're going to kind of look back and be like, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. You know what I mean? But right now, that may not feel like the case. So, whatever the situation is, it is dear energy that is needed to navigate it, which is very diplomatic and very gentle. It's like kind of the opposite of the stag energy because the deer doesn't push itself into here. You're kind of taking in all the information and proceeding cautiously, tentatively almost, right? Because something has, I need a new word for triggered, inflamed, incensed this. And this is you. It's almost like you're having this issue with yourself, but there are other parties involved. Okay. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. It just feels a little bit convoluted to me. It feels like your ego energy is being incensed, inflamed, poked, but it's because of someone else. Do you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be happening all by itself. It's not like just out of nowhere, just for funsies. Like someone is absolutely poking on that. So, like I said, you can pull out in a higher perspective and understand that everything is happening the way it needs to happen right now. And diplomatic, take note, receive information. I find the best thing to do in the situation where everyone's being like set off, good one, is for you to sit back and observe and take notes of everything. Like be specific about all the things that are happening. You're going to learn a lot from this situation. And I hope one of the things you've learned, if you picked dandelion and chamomile tea, one of the things to remember is those boundaries for energy because it that plays in very much. Okay. But also always remember boundaries with energy. Always do that. But that's kind of what's happening here. So remember the overarching situation, it's okay. It's going to be fine. Use gentleness, not forcefulness. Ask questions, right? We need to ask more questions. Be like a toddler about everything, right? Tell me more about why that upset you. Oh, tell me more about how that feels for you. Was it your intention for this, and this to happen? If not, like, can you explain more about what you were trying to have happen? Like, what your vibe was about this? Like, ask all the questions. Okay, receive all the answers, and then it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Ah, hi, Elise. Does that make sense for people who chose chamomile? I know I feel like it was a little vague, but I was trying to convey that to you. I was trying to convey it. All right, I'm shuffling for a mint tea. Miss you too. How is this eclipse season treating you? Tell me when you're ready. It's your mint tea. Did you say you were ready? Okay, so this is your mint tea. Cat, dog, hawk. I mean, who couldn't love these two together, right? So, this is all about you and you, okay? While Kat is 90% of the time going to be talking about boundaries, it also has to do with how you think of yourself, how you treat yourself, and thusly how you move around in the world. So let's take Priscilla as an example. She walks around and probably knocks over another plant. Priscilla thinks very highly of herself. She is aware that she's very cute. She is aware that she is very capable. She knows as a cat, she is in a higher echelon of energy and she's good with that, right? She is happy to give affection on her terms, happy to receive affection on her terms. And if there's something that she doesn't feel is aligned with her in the moment, she's really not going to do it. And you could just go fuck off, right? And yet, I complain about her and I call her names and we fight, but I respect her and I love her very much. So just because she acts obnoxious to me sometimes doesn't mean that that is a poor reflection on her character or how she feels about herself, right? It's kind of a me problem. You know what I'm saying? Think of yourself as a cat. If you pull that screen off, Priscilla, think of yourself as a cat. How would you describe yourself in that cat energy? Then we're going to add in the dog. Okay. The dog is all about present moment energy. Okay. Dog energy really doesn't care about what's happening later or what happened before. Dog energy is here in the present moment. And I will tell you, if you're not familiar with cats, cat energy isn't really fully present in the moment. And here's why: cats remember shit and they hold grudges and they will hold you to task on those things. Okay? You can argue with me if you want, but I've had this experience too many times with a cat. Dogs? No. So the dog energy for you is being fully present with what is in this moment and allowing yourself to be enjoying it, present in it, drinking it in. Okay? It's a big deal to have these two together because it's really giving you the key to self love and interaction with others, right? You don't have to be a people pleaser for people to be pleased with you. In fact, one of my favorite little memes that goes around, I don't know why I said it like that, but oh man, one of my favorite little memes that goes around is the one that's like, oh, you're a people pleaser? Name one person who's pleased with you. People pleasing doesn't please people. It just doesn't. Because if a person needs you to bow down to their energy in order to conceptually be pleased, by that construct, they cannot be pleased, right? So it is futile. You do not have to be a people pleaser to please people. You have surrounded yourself at this point with some people who are on their own journey of self realization and healing and honesty, truth, and alignment. Boundaries are going to be something they expect from you, right? And consent is going to be something that is required with that energetic connection. So just kind of remember that with the cat dog thing that's going on for you today. The third card is the hawk. And the hawk really is, at least to me, when I see hawk energy, I'm thinking 11111. I'm thinking synchronicities. I'm thinking whatever's going on for me, and I'm looking for a sign. That's what it's telling me. There, that's the sign, right? So if you're looking for that, Do I keep going in this direction? Is this really right for me? Yeah. And I also just want to tell you this is not like in this poll or anything, but sometimes we forget this. You can make a choice to do something and be something, and you can try it on. And then you can say, you know what? This isn't for me. And you can not do that anymore. I think a lot of times we really freak ourselves out with a lot of different things that we would like to get into because we aren't sure if we can see it through until the end of time. And the only real thing that you are going to be seeing through until the end of time is your relationship with yourself. So let's shore that up first, shall we? All right. Well, that is your coffee and magic for this morning. Thanks for joining me. I will be back next Friday at 10 a.m. as per like this. And this is the last Coffee and Magic of September, which is fucking crazy. It's like time is moving the most fast it's ever moved. And yet, even though it's moving so fast, so much is happening in every minute and every hour. You know what I mean? So it's a wild time. Anyhow, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Sending lots of love and safe thoughts to everybody who is being affected by this hurricane, and stay dry. Love, love, love. And I will see you next Friday, but I'll be around. So check my stories on Instagram. I'll update you on snake stuff and like all the things. And like I said, if I have bandwidth in an evening and I can just kind of pop on and do some cards with you, I will do that. Okay. I love you guys. Mwah. Goodbye.